YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Rome 2, where I will be bringing you some more online action from Blademaster. This one is going to be some more, actually I think Blademaster's the Suebi here, and he's going up against, I think it's Obelix's Boweye again. This is more standard rules here. I think it's just max 6 of the same unit. Maybe a few other rules, I don't know. Let's see what kind of Boweye army is up against. Boweye, very traditional power faction in Rome 2 right now. Very good faction with the sword followers and Oathsworn and heavy horse. Very good faction. And not to forget the levy freemen either. So let's see what Blademaster has. He's got some axemen of some sort up front here. Club levy? Some of them are carrying axes. Others are carrying clubs. Interesting. So he's got 2 club levy up front. They could actually be useful if you had an Ariovistus general, which he does. Germanic scout riders moving up. Gonna try and harass the heavy horse early. Better watch out for jab volleys, but yep, they're gonna throw some javelins into the heavy horse. Never a bad thing to start picking away at their hit points. Wants to lure the Boweye forward, no doubt, and probably try and use his fast charge. His fast charge general will probably get these units maybe through here. He's got Woden as spear center, so 4 Woden as spears, 2 sword masters, 3 including his general, 1 berserker. Looks like 2 Cimbri bowwomen, 2 Germanic slingers, nice mix. He's got 2 scout riders out and about, and 1 in the back, so very light on cav, and a spear levy on each flank, and then the front is club levy. So definitely a squishy army, but potentially dangerous if used properly. Bunch of levy freemen up front for the Boweye. This is expected. They probably won't do too well in extended combat versus club levy. They'll do fine on the charge, but backed up by all this, basically the Boweye are just going to try and brute force their way through the front lines. Blademaster, I would think he's going to want to act quickly to follow up on this, but maybe he's trying to get fast charge all readied up here. Let's see. The Suebi have to be used very well. If he's going to use fast charge, he needs to engage it because there's a delay on the charge bonus that comes through, so I'm surprised he hasn't engaged fast charge already, but we'll see what his plan is. Club levy not doing much. Woden as spears now going to come into combat. Interesting to bring Woden as spears into this combat. I mean, they're pretty good for a spear unit. They've got an elite spear, and their charge is pretty decent, but I mean, sword followers, we'll see how that works out. Sword followers are some dang good infantry. Celtic warriors going into sword masters, they'll get destroyed. Woden as spears ought to hold up fairly well here, where the charge was not real great. So Woden as spear, again, ought to perform admirably here for a spear. And with the shield wall engaged, they're going to do alright. Fast charge now engaged. Interesting, so fast charge engaged. The big charge bonus has not kicked in yet, though, for these sword masters. They're going to get intercepted by a heavy horse. Ooh, that was nasty, but they finally got their charge bonus, but getting intercepted by that heavy horse is going to be rough for Blademaster. Now he's going to get pinned down by an Oathsworn. Heavy horse coming straight into braced Woden as spears. Now cavalry counter tactics. That's going to cut down those heavy horse at an alarming rate. Just watch this, an elite spear. Cavalry counterattacks with a 45 bonus versus large. Already 5 heavy horse gone. And heavy horse are not a slouchy cav. Yeah, look at that. The Suebi lines with the Woden as spears holding up extremely well because of the shield screen. It's giving them a lot of defense. These sword masters going to get jacked up by heavy cavs, so he's bringing in support from berserkers, which are also going to get jacked up on the charge. So far, his skirmishers are safe, and they're firing into the Oathsworn, which is a great choice. He needs to level out that fight. Heavy horse inbound on his skirmishers, though. He's going to have to watch it. There's another unit working around the flank over here, too. His skirmishers are at huge risk. More heavy horse working around the flank. This is the power of the Boweye being demonstrated here. Blademaster's sword masters, Blademaster's sword masters in the center are struggling. But more sword masters here to help with the sword followers, so that actually will be going pretty well. And these Woden as spears did real well here, 120 kills already. Very impressive so far. Blademaster's going to have to hold that cavalry out of his skirmishers, though. And right now he's doing it because the Germanic scout riders, nice little rear shot's going to come in here from the scout riders using flaming shot. Going after the morale of the Boweye. Let's see if it works. This unit didn't quite get hit by the flaming barrage, but the rear charge finishes it. And he's going to get a chain route right here on the Boii. Nice rear charge there from the Germanic Scout Riders. Very clutch. The Berserker's now coming in to cause a scare effect. Blade Master is losing his general in the center. I don't know if the general actually died. Yep, general did die, so that is going to hurt the Suebi a lot. This is over for these skirmishers over here. If he could take the charge with the Germanic Slingers and then fight back with the Cimbri Bowwomen, that would be ideal. Looks like he's trying to bring Wodenaz Spears in. Better choice still. Try and keep the Cimbri Bowwomen alive. The Wodenaz Spears held up the main line extremely well. I guess that Elite Spear, combined with maybe Pride and Shield Screen, might have made the difference there, because Pride would give them extra armor-piercing damage for a time. Pretty good amount of it, actually. Still some Swordmasters alive. The enemy Oathsworn General is going to get whacked here, and I actually think that that's going to bode pretty bad for the Boii. The biggest problem is that there's another Oathsworn left here too. These Berserkers will get a little piece of them, but probably not the whole deal. Some Swordmasters and Wodenaz Spears out here, though he did lose those Bowwomen, and he's going to lose more of them here, unless he can maybe get this Wodenaz Spear over here in time to save some of them. The Cimbri Bowwomen and Germanic Slingers would be very important to save here. Let's see if he's able to do it. Units are going to want to shatter right now too, because the general's gone. Cavalry counter tactics being popped. That heavy horse is going to go down very, very quickly. Cimbri Bowwomen coming back into melee combat. He needs to get these units out of here. Swordmaster's going to take a nasty charge from the heavy cav here. They're not a real heavy unit, so that is going to be rough. The impact damage is going to be pretty severe. Again, not Attila, but it's going to be bad. These Cimbri Bowwomen really, yep, they're going to get out of there. This Berserker's now fighting the Oathsworn. The Oathsworn are scared, though. Their morale is wavering a bit in the yellow. These sword followers here trying to beast it out over the Wodenaz Spears. They're in shield wall, going to get rear charged by a returning Swordmaster. One Levy Freeman out here. This is a close battle. There's a couple of heavy horse left, a spear levy that needs to get back in the fight. Germanic Scout Riders with another rear charge here into the Oathsworn, trying to get a few kills, pin them down. Here comes some Swordmasters. Shield Screen and Headhunt being activated for the Boii, and here comes a heavy horse. There are Wodenaz Spears in the area though. I don't know if they have cavalry counter tactics, I don't think they do, but they'll still be pretty effective versus enemy cav. The Scout Riders are getting routed right now. The Cimbri Bowwomen survive though and are getting some very clutch shots into these Oathsworn. With that Scout Rider gone though, there's no guard whatsoever for those Bowwomen. So that heavy horse is going to be bad news. Blade Master needs to get all the shots he can while he can into this Oathsworn. This other heavy horse is also bad news. The impact damage that these units can impart in the late game is ferocious. Yep, those Cimbri Bowwomen are screwed. There's two heavy horse. There is nowhere to run. These Swordmasters are about to get charged off the field. I'm not sure why the heavy horse called off that charge. Could be because the Bowwomen have spears, but they just took nasty javelins from the Wodenaz Spears, who are now going to charge back this way. That heavy horse taking fire from the Cimbri Bowwomen. But now the Cimbri Bowwomen are going to get visited by some Boii justice. Though the two-handed spear of the Bowwomen here could be helpful if they don't insta-route, which they probably will. Yep, they did. Two heavy horse is a bit much to handle for such a light unit. The Wodenaz Spear now being rear charged, but another Wodenaz Spear rear charging the Oathsworn. It's going to get nice kills. They have a pretty good charge bonus. Cavalry counter tactics popped, and the heavy horse is going to be chased off by Wodenaz Spears, who are fairly quick because they're a medium unit. And they are catching some heavy horse here and will kill several units. Yeah, a lot of units there, actually. Very, very good for Blade Master. His heavy horse is having a hard time getting separated because they're tired, and the Wodenaz Spear is just relatively quick for an infantry unit. Swordmaster coming in. This is a very close fight at this point. I wonder if the Swordmaster has Headhunt. If it does, it's going to need it to survive all the impact damage and everything else that's going on. Oathsworn at 56, Swordmaster at 69, Wodenaz Spear at 57. This is going to be a nice charge for the Wodenaz Spear. Should get some kills on the Oathsworn. The Levy Freeman routed. Shield wall on the Oathsworn, trying to increase their mass, probably. Wodeness Spears are kind of just cycle charging, which is a decent use for him. 208 kills on the Wodeness Spear, extremely impressive. This heavy horse is going to say goodbye. That is very good for Blademaster. Definitely a winnable looking battle for Blademaster at this point. But he did have to use Headhunt there, and it depends on whether the Oathsworn still has Headhunt. We will see. They're trying to finish off the Wodeness Spear. Blademaster just trying to go through with the Wodeness Spear. Wants to stay in the cavalry and stay away from the Oathsworn. Heavy cavalry going to come back and intercept the Swordmasters. This is definitely a game of cat and mouse here in the late game. This is going to be a very close battle, folks. The Wodeness Spear's caught by the Oathsworn. They're going to go into a shield screen and just try and hold. The Swordmaster's kind of just ignoring the 9 Heavy Horse and going for the back of the Oathsworn. Probably the right choice. The Heavy Horse may be past their usefulness here. That's going to hurt the Oathsworn pretty bad. And that shield screen, 110 melee defense for the Wodeness Spears. And it's going to help him clutch it out. The Oathsworn starts wavering. The Heavy Horse is gone. They are going to be unbreakable, though. No, they didn't. Blademaster getting a clutch finish there. Just a few more seconds, and that Oathsworn would have been unbreakable for 30 seconds. But he got him right before then. Look at the performance on 2 of these Wodeness Spears here. 212 and 222 kills. That is a very interesting unit. I haven't looked at them in a while. Heavy Horse, this is why they're good. Those 2 units got some nice kills. This Oathsworn here did some serious tanking. Levy Freemen are just good. They're just good all around. Whatever kills you get on them, it's good because they're so cheap. Let's go check out that Wodeness Spear. And they obviously have the elite spear because they have 30 attack, which means that they're going to have 8 armor piercing damage, which is quite good for a spear. Let's see what else they have going for them. So, unit info. So, resistant to cold, they can hide in the forest, and courage. That's going to be helpful with the Suebi for the units that are more fragile. That probably helped Blademaster a lot in the late game, actually. Expert charge defense going to be very handy versus cavalry if it comes to a late game battle of impact damage, because that impact damage, well, the charge damage will be reflected, not the impact damage. But if you had to get back to back in a shield screen, this unit would be a lot more resistant to cavalry cycle charges in late game. Cavalry counter tactics increases the bonus versus large by 30, meaning that you have a 45 attack bonus versus large, which basically pushes this up to what, 83 when you add it up. So impressive attack versus cavalry, and then I think you also get the bonus to weapon damage. I could be wrong. Shield screen, of course, is going to be nice because it's going to give them bracing, melee defense, and extra shield screen. So it is a pretty impressive unit there. The Wodeness Spear, the biggest thing it has going against it, though, is that it's not even medium, it's light. But that actually accounts for the speed and why that Heavy Horse that was tired was having such a hard time getting away from it. And then, of course, 29 charge bonus is pretty effective. And then if you were to pop Pride on here, I don't know exactly what the increase is. Actually, that is not the same elite spear that's carried by the Hoplites. I just figured it was. It isn't. Because they have 8 armor piercing. These are only 6, which is obviously not great, but it's not bad, really. And if you drop Pride on there and increase that, then these guys could be pretty damaging in a straight-up melee engagement. Very interesting. The price on them is high, but potential payback, I guess, is there. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Another great battle from Blademaster. Appreciate him sending it in. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.